Alex was only 18 years old. He was a new soldier in the Space Corps, a group of humans sent to protect planets that needed help. Alex was young, but he had a lot of courage and wanted to make a difference. Some of the older soldiers didn't take him seriously, but Alex didn't care. He believed that even a young soldier could do something great. One day, Alex's team got orders to go to a faraway planet called Zoria. It was a small green planet with many villages. The people on Zoria were mostly peaceful, but they were having trouble. Hostile alien groups were attacking their villages, taking supplies and scaring the villagers. Many of these villagers were young alien girls who couldn't fight or defend themselves. When the soldiers arrived, they saw the beautiful alien forests, the strange blue sky, and the tall green trees. Alex felt excited, but a little nervous. He wondered if he would be able to help these people. His commander gave him a small assignment: to go to a village called Inari and check on the people there. It was supposed to be a quick visit, just to see if everything was safe. Some of the other soldiers laughed and teased him. "You're only 18, Alex. Think you can handle a little village check?" they joked. But Alex was serious. He knew it was an important task, even if it seemed small. He was determined to do his best and protect the people in that village. Alex got into a small transport ship and flew over the forests of Zoria. From the sky, he could see small villages hidden in the trees, surrounded by rivers and hills. When he landed in Inari, he saw that the village was simple and peaceful. Small, colorful houses stood in a circle, and alien flowers grew everywhere. It was a beautiful place, but it looked very quiet. As Alex walked into the village, a few alien girls peeked out from their houses. They were young, around his age, with soft blue skin and bright, curious eyes. They looked at him with a mix of fear and wonder. They had heard stories about humans, some good, some bad, but they had never seen a real human soldier before. One girl, who seemed a bit braver than the others, came forward. She had bright purple hair and looked at Alex with cautious eyes. "Are you here to hurt us?" she asked in a small voice. Alex shook his head. "No, I'm here to help you. My name is Alex. I'm a soldier, but I'm not here to fight anyone. I just want to make sure you're all safe," he said gently, trying to calm her fear. The girl hesitated, looking back at her friends, who were hiding behind doors and walls. "We don't trust strangers," she said, but there was a hint of hope in her voice. "I understand," Alex said, keeping his voice soft. "I know you don't know me, but I promise I just want to help." He carefully took off his helmet, showing them his face. He wanted them to see that he was just a young guy like them, not some scary warrior. Slowly, the alien girls came out from their hiding places. They watched him with wide eyes, whispering to each other. Alex could tell that they were curious, and he decided to tell them why he was there. "We heard that some bad aliens have been coming here, stealing things and scaring people," he explained. "We don't want anyone to get hurt. I'm here to see if I can help you feel safe again." The purple-haired girl nodded slowly. "Yes, the raiders come sometimes. They take our food, and we're afraid of them. We don't know how to fight them," she said. Her voice was soft, but Alex could hear the fear. Alex felt a strong urge to protect them. "If you let me, I can teach you some ways to defend yourselves. I can help you make your village safer," he offered. The alien girls looked at each other, surprised. They had never thought that a human soldier would offer to help them like this. Slowly, they nodded, and the purple-haired girl spoke again. "My name is Lyra," she said. "We'll trust you, Alex. But we're afraid. We've never had anyone protect us before." Alex smiled, feeling a warmth inside. "Then let me be the first," he said. "We'll work together. I'll show you how strong you really are." And so, Alex, the young soldier, began his mission in the alien village of Inari. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he felt ready to protect these people. As he looked around at the hopeful faces of the alien girls, he promised himself he wouldn't let them down. He was their friend now, their protector. And for Alex, this was just the beginning of an adventure he would never forget. Meeting the frightened alien girls, Alex stood in the middle of the alien village, feeling a bit nervous. The village of Inari was quiet, and the alien girls were watching him with wide, cautious eyes. Some of them hid behind walls, peeking out carefully, while others watched from a safe distance. They had never seen a human soldier up close before, and they didn't know what to expect. The village was beautiful and full of life, with colorful plants and strange, tall trees that shaded the small round houses. But Alex could feel the fear in the air. He knew the alien girls were nervous, unsure if they could trust him. He also knew he had to gain their trust if he wanted to protect them. Slowly, Alex raised his hand and waved with a friendly smile. "Hello, everyone," he said in a calm, gentle voice. "My name is Alex. I'm here to help you. I promise I'm not here to hurt anyone." One of the girls, who seemed braver than the others, took a small step forward. She had light blue skin and purple hair that shimmered in the sunlight. She looked at Alex with big, curious eyes, but didn't say anything. Alex could tell she was thinking about what to do. "Are you really here to help us?" the girl finally asked. Her voice was soft, but Alex could hear the fear and hope mixed together. "Yes," Alex replied, nodding. "I know some bad aliens have been bothering your village. My job is to keep you safe from them." The girl looked back at her friends, who were still hiding and whispering to each other. She seemed unsure, like she wanted to believe him but didn't know if she should. "We don't know you, human. We've heard strange stories about humans," she admitted. Alex understood their hesitation. He knew that some aliens thought humans were scary or dangerous. "I know you don't know me yet," he said softly, "but I hope we can be friends. I don't want anything bad to happen to you." The girl took another step forward, still looking uncertain. "My name is Lyra," she said slowly, "and these are my friends." She gestured to the other girls, who looked at Alex with nervous eyes. One by one, a few other girls came forward as well. Some introduced themselves in soft voices, while others stayed quiet but watched closely. Alex noticed that each girl had a unique look, different skin colors, hair that shone in various shades, and eyes that reflected the bright colors of the village plants. They were beautiful, each in their own way, and Alex could see that they were young, like him. He felt a sudden urge to protect them, to make sure they were safe from harm. As Alex looked around, he noticed how simple and open their village was. There were no walls, no gates, and very few weapons. He realized that these girls had no way to defend themselves if they were attacked. His heart filled with determination. He knew he had to help them, no matter what. Lyra, who seemed to be their leader, spoke up again. "If you really want to help us, what can you do?" she asked, still a bit suspicious but also curious. Alex smiled gently. "I can teach you how to protect yourselves," he said. "I'll show you some basic ways to defend your village. It might be hard at first, but I'll be here with you every step of the way." The girls looked at each other, whispering and exchanging glances. Some of them still looked afraid, but others seemed curious and interested. Lyra seemed to be deep in thought, and finally she nodded. "Okay, Alex, we will give you a chance. But if we feel unsafe, we will ask you to leave." Alex nodded, understanding their need for caution. "That's fair," he said. "I just want to help. If you ever feel uncomfortable, just tell me, and I'll respect your wishes." Slowly, the girls relaxed a little. They were still unsure, but Alex's kindness and respect had made them feel a bit safer. Lyra even managed a small smile. "Maybe we can learn from you, human," she said, "but you must be patient with us. We have never done anything like this before. I promise I'll be patient." Alex replied warmly. "And together, we'll make this village a safer place." Over the next hour, Alex began to talk with them about what he could teach. He explained how they could use simple tools, like sticks and stones, to defend themselves if needed. The girls listened closely, some of them nodding. others looking a little scared but willing to try. Lyra and the others slowly began to open up, asking questions and even sharing some of their fears about the hostile aliens who came to steal from them. By the end of the day, Alex felt like he had taken the first step in earning their trust. He knew it would be a long journey, but he was ready for it. He wanted to protect these girls, to show them that not all humans were dangerous. He hoped that one day they would see him as a friend and a true protector. For now, Alex was just happy that they had given him a chance. As he looked at the hopeful faces around him, he felt more determined than ever to keep his promise. Training for protection. The next morning, Alex woke up early, ready to start the day. He was eager to help the alien girls learn how to protect themselves. He knew they were afraid of the raiders, and he wanted to give them the confidence to defend their village. As he walked to the open area in the center of the village, he saw the girls already gathering, whispering to each other with nervous excitement. Lyra, the brave girl with purple hair, was at the front. She gave Alex a small, determined nod. Behind her were the other girls, each with different expressions. Some looked serious, others were still a bit scared, and a few were even smiling, curious about what Alex would teach them. They had never trained for anything like this before, but they were ready to try. Alex raised his voice so everyone could hear. "Good morning, everyone," he said with a warm smile. "Today, I'm going to teach you some simple ways to protect yourselves and your village. Don't worry if it feels hard at first. We'll go slowly, and I'll be here to help you." The girls nodded, listening closely. Alex noticed that they were all different sizes and shapes, each with unique strengths. Some of them were tall, others were small, but they all had the same look of determination in their eyes. He knew they were brave, even if they didn't believe it yet. To start, Alex picked up a long stick and held it up for everyone to see. "This might look like just a stick," he said, "but it can be a powerful tool. If someone tries to hurt you, you can use it to keep them away. It doesn't take much strength, just a little practice." He showed them how to hold the stick properly, keeping a firm grip but staying relaxed. Then he demonstrated a few simple moves: how to swing it to defend themselves, how to block, and how to use it to push an attacker back. The girls watched carefully, some with wide eyes, trying to understand each movement. "Would anyone like to try?" Alex asked, looking around. Lyra, the bravest of the group, stepped forward and took the stick from Alex's hands. She held it carefully, her eyes focused as she copied his movements. Her swings were a bit shaky at first, but Alex smiled encouragingly. "That's great, Lyra. Just keep practicing, and it will feel easier." Lyra practiced a few more swings, and soon her movements became smoother and stronger. The other girls watched, amazed, as she gained confidence with each try. After a while, some of the others wanted to try too. One by one, they took turns holding the stick, practicing swings and blocks, learning how to protect themselves. Alex felt proud of them. Each girl was trying her best, even though it was new and difficult. He could see their nervousness starting to fade as they practiced. The girls began to smile and even laugh a little as they grew more comfortable with the stick. Next, Alex decided to teach them a simple move to escape if someone tried to grab them. He explained how they could use their strength to pull away, twisting their body to break free. The girls watched closely, trying to copy his movements. Some of them stumbled at first, but Alex was patient, showing them again until they understood. Lyra tried the move, and she was able to escape from Alex's gentle hold quickly. She looked up at him with a big smile, feeling proud of herself. "I didn't think I could do it," she said, laughing a little. "You're doing great, Lyra," Alex said, smiling back. "All of you are doing really well. Remember, it's not about being the strongest. It's about being smart and using what you've learned." The other girls started to laugh and cheer for each other as they practiced, helping one another when someone struggled. The nervousness from earlier in the day was gone, replaced by excitement and pride. They were starting to believe in themselves, and Alex could see the change in their eyes. They weren't as afraid anymore. By the end of the training, the girls were tired but happy. They thanked Alex for teaching them, and he felt a deep sense of satisfaction. He knew they still had a lot to learn, but this was a strong first step. He could see the hope and confidence growing in each of them. As the sun began to set, Lyra came up to Alex. "Thank you, Alex," she said quietly. "We feel stronger now. I think maybe we can protect each other." Alex smiled, touched by her words. "You're very welcome, Lyra. And remember, I'll be here to help you as long as you need." The girls waved goodbye and headed back to their homes, their laughter echoing through the village. They were tired, but their spirits were high. For the first time in a long time, they felt safe. Alex watched them go, feeling proud of their courage. He knew there would be challenges ahead, but he also knew that these girls were stronger than they thought. They were no longer just frightened villagers. They were becoming protectors of their own home, and Alex was honored to stand by their side. The first battle. A few days had passed since Alex began training the alien girls, and each day they grew a little stronger and a little braver. The girls had been practicing hard, learning how to defend themselves and protect their village. They laughed and encouraged each other as they learned new moves, and Alex could see their confidence growing. But that morning, as the sun rose over the village, Alex noticed something unusual. There was a quiet tension in the air, and the usual sounds of the forest were gone. He felt a sense of unease creeping up his spine. Just then, he saw Lyra running towards him, her face pale with worry. "Alex," she said, her voice shaking. "They're coming. The raiders are coming to the village." Alex's heart raced, but he kept his face calm. He didn't want to scare the girls. "All right, Lyra," he said firmly. "Gather everyone. Tell them to remember everything we practiced. We're going to defend this village together." Lyra nodded and ran to alert the others. Soon, all the girls gathered in the village center, their faces filled with fear and determination. Alex could see the worry in their eyes, but he also saw the strength they had been building. They trusted him, and he knew he had to lead them well. "Remember," Alex said, speaking loud enough for everyone to hear, "we've practiced for this. Stay calm, stay together, and follow what we practiced. You're stronger than you think. We can do this." Just then, they heard footsteps approaching. A group of rough-looking aliens, the raiders, entered the village. They were tall and strong, their faces twisted in cruel smiles as they looked at the girls, clearly expecting them to be afraid and helpless. But Alex stepped forward, holding up a stick like he had taught the girls. One of the raiders sneered at Alex. "What are you doing here, human?" he mocked. "This is none of your business. Move aside." Alex didn't flinch. "These girls are under my protection. Leave now, or you'll regret it." The raiders laughed, clearly not taking Alex seriously. But before they could come any closer, Lyra stepped forward with her own stick, holding it up just like Alex had taught her. Behind her, the other girls followed, each one holding their stick or makeshift weapon. They stood in a line, facing the raiders, their faces filled with determination. The leader of the raiders looked surprised for a moment. He hadn't expected the girls to be so bold. "So you think you can fight us?" he sneered, taking a step forward. Alex signaled to the girls, and they moved into position, just as they had practiced. The raiders lunged forward, but Lyra was quick. She swung her stick, blocking the leader's attack and pushing him back. The other girls followed her lead, using the moves Alex had taught them. They swung, blocked, and pushed, working together as a team. The raiders were caught off guard. They hadn't expected the girls to fight back, and they certainly hadn't expected them to be this strong. For the first time, the girls felt powerful, and their confidence grew with each move. Alex fought alongside them, guiding them and reminding them to stay calm. One of the raiders tried to grab a smaller girl, but she remembered Alex's escape move. She twisted her body and pulled away, breaking free. She swung her stick at him, surprising him with her strength. Another girl blocked a raider's strike with a fierce look in her eyes, pushing him back. The raiders stumbled, unprepared for the girl's skill and bravery. As the battle continued, the raiders became frustrated. They hadn't expected this kind of resistance from a village of young girls. Each time they tried to advance, the girls pushed them back, working together with Alex to protect their home. Finally, the leader of the raiders snarled in anger. "This isn't worth it," he spat. "We'll be back, and next time, you won't be so lucky." With that, the raiders retreated, disappearing into the forest. The girls watched them go, breathing heavily but feeling victorious. They had won their first battle, and they had done it together. Alex turned to the girls, a proud smile on his face. "You did it," he said, his voice full of pride. "You defended your village. I'm so proud of each and every one of you." The girls looked at each other, their faces breaking into smiles and laughter. They had faced their fears and won. Lyra stepped forward, her face shining with happiness. "Thank you, Alex," she said. "We couldn't have done it without you." Alex shook his head. "You had the strength all along. I just helped you see it." That night, the village was filled with laughter and celebration. The girls were no longer afraid. They had proven to themselves that they could protect their home. Alex knew there might be more battles ahead, but he also knew that these girls were ready. They were no longer just frightened villagers. They were warriors, and they were proud. As the stars shone above, Alex sat with the girls, feeling a deep sense of joy. Together, they had won their first battle, and he knew that this was only the beginning of their strength and courage. Discovering new skills, after their first victory against the raiders, the village was filled with excitement and pride. The alien girls, who once felt scared and helpless, now held their heads high. They walked around the village with smiles on their faces, feeling strong and confident. They had proven to themselves that they could protect their home, and they had done it together, with Alex's guidance. Alex was also proud, but he knew they couldn't stop training just yet. He wanted the girls to become even stronger, so he gathered them in the village center the next morning and looked around at their eager faces. "Yesterday, you all showed incredible courage," he said with a warm smile. "But there's more to learn. Today, we're going to discover what each of you is really good at. Everyone has special skills, and finding them will make our team even stronger." The girls exchanged curious glances, wondering what skills they might have. Lyra, always the brave one, stepped forward. "What do you mean, Alex?" she asked. "Well," Alex began, "some of you might be good at leading others. Some might have quick reflexes or be very strong. Let's find out what each of you can do best." He decided to try a few different exercises to see what skills would emerge. First, he asked the girls to run as fast as they could across the open field. The goal was to see who was the fastest. The girls lined up, excitement in their eyes. At Alex's signal, they sprinted forward, each one running with all her strength. One of the smaller girls, Mira, surprised everyone by running ahead of the others, her feet barely touching the ground as she sped across the field. She was quick, like a flash of light. When she reached the end, the other girls cheered, impressed by her speed. "Mira," Alex said with a grin, "you're fast. You'll be our scout. If we ever need someone to run ahead and check for danger, you'll be perfect for the job." Mira blushed with pride, happy to have found her special skill. The other girls clapped for her, excited to see what their own talents might be. Next, Alex wanted to test their strength. He found a large, heavy log and asked the girls to try lifting it. Some of them struggled, their faces turning red as they tried to lift the weight. But then, a tall, muscular girl named Zura stepped forward. She bent down, grabbed the log with both hands, and lifted it with ease. The other girls gasped, impressed by her strength. "Zara, you're incredibly strong," Alex said, his eyes shining with pride. "You'll be our shield. If we ever need to block or protect others, you'll be the one to help us." Zara smiled, pleased with her role. She had never known that she was strong enough to lift something so heavy, and now she felt even more confident. After that, Alex wanted to test their reflexes. He picked up small stones and threw them gently towards the girls, testing who could dodge or catch them the quickest. Most of the girls missed or were too slow, but one girl, named Lena, had sharp reflexes. She caught every stone Alex threw with surprising speed. "Lena, you're quick and alert," Alex praised her. "You'll be our lookout. If we're ever under attack, you'll be the one to spot danger first." Lena grinned, feeling proud of her skill. She had always been able to react quickly, but she had never thought it could be useful for protecting her village. One by one, each girl discovered her unique skill. Some were good at climbing, others at hiding or staying silent. Every girl had a role, and each role made the team stronger. Alex could see how excited they were now that they had found their strengths. They were no longer just villagers. They were a team ready to protect each other. After the training, Alex gathered everyone and looked at their eager faces. "Now that we know our strengths, we'll work together even better," he said. "Each of you is important to this team. We'll keep practicing, and together, we'll make sure this village is safe." The girls cheered, thrilled with their newfound skills and roles. They felt like warriors now with their own special powers. No longer were they just a group of frightened girls. They were a team, united and ready for anything. That night, as the girls talked about their day, they couldn't stop smiling. They had discovered things about themselves they never knew. They were stronger, faster, and braver than they had ever imagined. And it was all thanks to Alex, who believed in them and helped them see their true potential. As the stars sparkled above, Alex felt a deep sense of pride. These girls had come so far, and he knew they would only grow stronger from here. Together, they had become a team with special skills, ready to face any challenge. But Alex also knew that danger was always near. The raiders might return, stronger than before. Yet he felt sure that with this team by his side, they would be ready for whatever came next. The final attack. The sun had barely risen when Alex woke up to an uneasy silence. The birds were no longer singing, and the usual sounds of the forest were eerily absent. His instincts, sharp after years of training, told him something was wrong. He quickly grabbed his weapon and rushed outside to check on the village. The girls were already awake, standing in a tight group near the village center. Their faces were filled with worry, but they were ready. They knew that something big was coming. Lyra stepped forward as Alex approached. "They're back, aren't they?" she asked, her voice low but determined. Alex nodded grimly. "The raiders. They'll come in full force this time. We need to be ready." The girls, now strong and skilled from their days of training, stood tall. They had fought off the raiders before, but this time, Alex feared it would be different. The raiders would come with more strength, and the girls would need to give everything they had. "We've trained for this moment," Alex said, looking at each girl. "Remember your roles. We protect this village, no matter what." Zara, the strong one, tightened her grip on her weapon. Mira, the fastest, stood ready to sprint at a moment's notice. Lena, with her sharp reflexes, was already scanning the trees for movement. The other girls took their positions around the village, each one ready to play their part. Then the sound came, a distant roar. The raiders were on their way. The girls' hearts raced, but they didn't hesitate. They had faced danger before, and they were no longer afraid. Alex gave the signal, and they all moved into their positions. Mira, as the scout, was the first to see the raiders. She ran to the edge of the village and peeked through the trees. The raiders were coming in a large group, armed and ready for battle. Alex knew they wouldn't have much time. He rushed to the center of the village, where the girls had gathered. "Get ready," he shouted. "Hold the line. Stay together." The raiders finally broke through the trees, their loud steps echoing in the quiet morning. Their leader, a tall alien with dark armor, stepped forward with a wicked grin on his face. "You thought you could stop us," he sneered. "Now, we'll take what's ours." Alex stepped forward, standing tall in front of the girls. "This is our home. You're not welcome here." The raiders laughed, but Alex could see the fear in their eyes. They hadn't expected the girls to be so strong the last time. This time, they had underestimated their enemies even more. The first raider charged at Alex, but he quickly dodged the attack. With a swift motion, Alex knocked the raider to the ground. The girls cheered, their confidence growing. But the raiders weren't giving up. They came at the girls from all directions, trying to break through their defenses. Zara, with her incredible strength, blocked the first few attacks, pushing the raiders back with powerful strikes. She stood like a shield, protecting the others. Lena moved quickly, her reflexes sharp. She darted from one raider to another, dodging their attacks and countering with quick, precise strikes. The raiders were caught off guard by her speed and agility. Mira was a blur, running around the raiders and confusing them. She darted in and out, giving the other girls just enough time to strike. Her quick movements made it hard for the raiders to focus on one target. As the battle raged on, the girls worked together, supporting each other and covering each other's backs. Alex kept his eyes on the raiders' leader, knowing he would be the key to ending the fight. The raiders' leader noticed Alex and charged at him with a furious roar. But Alex was ready. He waited until the last moment and then sidestepped, knocking the leader off balance. The leader stumbled, but he quickly recovered and lunged again. This time, Alex was faster. With one quick move, he knocked the leader's weapon out of his hands and forced him to the ground. The leader struggled, but Alex held him down, staring into his eyes. "You lost," Alex said, his voice cold but full of authority. "Leave now, or we'll make sure you never return." The raiders, seeing their leader defeated, hesitated. They hadn't expected the girls to be so strong, but they knew they were no match for the team that had protected the village so fiercely. The raiders, now filled with doubt, began to retreat. Alex stood over the leader, his breath heavy. "Go," he said again. "Leave, and never come back." The raiders, defeated and humiliated, turned and ran. They disappeared into the forest, leaving the village in peace. The girls stood still for a moment, catching their breath. They had won. Not only had they defended their home, but they had also proven to themselves just how powerful they had become. They were no longer just scared villagers. They were warriors. Alex turned to the girls, his heart swelling with pride. "You did it," he said, a smile on his face. "You defended the village. You've made me proud." The girls laughed and cheered, hugging each other in celebration. They had faced the final attack and come out victorious. Their bond had grown stronger, and their confidence was unshakable. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the village, Alex knew that this was just the beginning. The girls had proven that they were ready for whatever came next, and together, they would face it all, side by side. A hero among the aliens. The battle was over. The raiders had fled, defeated, and humiliated. The village was safe once more, and Alex stood at the center of it all, looking around at the smiling faces of the girls. They had won, and they had done it together. As the sun set, casting long shadows over the village, Alex felt a sense of peace he hadn't felt in a long time. He had come to this strange planet as a soldier, alone and unsure of what to expect. But now he had a family, a team. The alien girls, who had once been frightened and weak, had become strong, brave warriors, and he had played a part in helping them discover their true strength. Alex looked at Lyra, the brave one, who had once been unsure of herself, but had found the courage to fight. He saw Zara, the strong one, who had protected everyone with her might. Lena, the fast one, who had used her quick reflexes to save others. And Mira, the scout, who had always been the first to spot danger. Together, they had become a force to be reckoned with. They had protected their home and their people, and in the process, they had earned each other's respect and trust. Lyra approached Alex, a smile on her face. "You did it, Alex. You made us strong," she said, her voice full of admiration. Alex smiled back. "No, you did it. You girls are the real heroes here. I just helped guide you." Zara stepped forward, her voice deep and serious. "You led us, Alex. Without you, we wouldn't have known what we were capable of. You made us believe in ourselves." Alex felt a warm flush of pride. It wasn't easy being a leader, especially when you were still learning how to lead yourself. But he had learned from the best. These girls had shown him what true strength looked like. Lena, her eyes bright with excitement, added, "You saved us, Alex. You gave us a chance to fight back. You made us believe we could win." Mira, always quick to act, was already planning for the future. "Now that we've won, what's next? We can't just stop here. We need to make sure the village stays safe." Alex looked at her, his mind turning. She was right. The raiders had been driven off, but there were still dangers in the world. The planet was wild and unpredictable. But they were ready. Together, they were unstoppable. "We'll keep training," Alex said. "And we'll keep looking out for each other. The battle might be over, but our work isn't done." The girls nodded in agreement. They were no longer just victims or helpless strangers on a foreign planet. They were warriors, each with their own strengths, ready to protect their home. As the days passed, Alex found himself growing closer to the girls. They weren't just his team, they were his family. He had come to this planet alone, but now he had people he cared about. And they cared about him too. One evening, as the village gathered around a fire to celebrate their victory, Alex sat beside the girls. They laughed and talked, sharing stories of their past and dreams for the future. The fire crackled, casting a warm glow over their faces. For the first time since he had arrived on this planet, Alex felt truly at home. He looked around at the girls, Lyra, Zara, Lena, Mira, and realized just how much they had changed. They were no longer the frightened girls who had first met him. They were confident, strong, and ready for anything. And they had made him stronger too. Alex was no longer just a soldier. He was a hero, not because of the battles he had won, but because of the people he had helped. These girls had become more than just his team. They had become his family, and he would protect them with everything he had. As the night drew on, and the village settled into peaceful silence, Alex found himself thinking about the future. They had won this battle, but there would be more challenges ahead, more dangers to face. But he wasn't afraid. With the girls by his side, he knew they could handle anything. In the end, Alex had found something he had never expected on this strange, alien world. A purpose. He had come here as a soldier, but he was leaving as something more. He was a protector, a leader, and a friend. And most of all, he was part of something greater than himself. He was a hero among the aliens, a hero who had helped a group of frightened girls become strong, fearless warriors. As the stars sparkled in the night sky, Alex smiled. Whatever the future held, he knew one thing for sure. Together, they could face anything.